These are the people that are going to watch me give my persuasive and informative speeches. Today I'm going to give my informative speech on the importance of ALS research and awareness. 70 years ago, Lou Gehrig, first baseman for the New York Yankees, gave his famous speech. Today, you may have heard that I've been given a bad break, but I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of this earth. But in reality, Mr. Gehrig had just been given his death sentence. Lou lived only 2 years after getting the devastating news, and 70 years after his diagnosis, there still has not been a cure found. ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, is a degenerative neuromuscular disease that affects the voluntary muscles. These are the muscles that your brain tells to move. For example, if you wanted to pick up a pencil, your brain sends the message to that muscle, the muscle does the action, and it happens. But in patients that have ALS, the transaction does not completely go down the muscle. It gets confused in the middle. There are 3 types of ALS. People can have sporadic ALS, and this is the most common type. 90 to 95% of the patients have sporadic. There's no reason why they get it. 5% of patients will get familial ALS, and these are people that have a family member that has this disease and they carry a gene for it. The other type is Guamanian. People that lived in Guam or served in Guam in the 1950s have been found to have a higher incidence of ALS. There are several types of onset of ALS. One type is bulbar onset. That means that it affects the muscles that help you to speak and swallow, and also to eat. People that have this type of onset have slurred speech, lots of excess saliva, they get choked very easily, they lose the ability to talk. This is the most aggressive form. The second type is upper limb onset. People that have this type of disease lose the muscles in their arms and hands. They get very weak. They're unable to grip. And the last type is lower limb onset, and this is the slowest progressing, and it starts in the legs. The same thing. People start tripping for no reason and have less strength in their legs. ALS is progressive. People become progressively weaker over time. The rate of progression will vary from patient to patient, but the outcome is the same. It is a fatal, non-curable disease. According to the ALS Association, from the time of diagnosis, patients usually live 3 to 5 years. 15 to 25% can live up to 10 years, but that is with ventilation and a feeding tube. Patients with ALS are usually managed by a whole team of physicians and therapists. You'll see speech therapists, occupational therapists, respiratory therapist, and a nurse. My husband was diagnosed with bulbar onset ALS in September 2008 at age 36. His speech and swallowing are most affected, but he now has cramps in his hands and arms and weakness. He takes 7 different medications a day. There's only one medication, Realitech, that is proven to increase the patient's lifespan, but only by 3 to 5 months. In closing, I'd like to tell you what I've learned from ALS. Is to live each day to the fullest, tell people how much you care about them, and do the things that you think might can wait, but you really don't have time. We have been given a blessing. We've learned that you tell people you care about them when you can. Do all the things that you want to with your family, because some people don't get that chance. Some people die in car accidents and never get the chance to tell other ones how they feel about them. I encourage all of you to please support your local MDA and ALS associations and help us to find a cure for this disease.